What's up? What's up? Yeah, it's gonna be a great ride today on Funk from the Front Seat. There's a spiritual purpose for everybody out there today. All right. So I need you to clap your hands like this. Today, I have my funk sister from another mother. I have my funk sister from another time and space. I got Lisa Love coming in a minute. I can see her now coming in on her flying carpet, you know, full of all the good vibes and love, full of all of that good feeling, bringing some serious downloads for you and for me. So everybody around the world, we're going to get this big clap on like this. I can feel everybody out there. And Brenda, I hope you're feeling better in Ohio. Thank you, Boosie and Patty and P-Funk Radio and all the folks on the West Coast, Dawn and the Skunk Mob and everybody on the East Coast, Tony Cam and the Funk All-Stars and Keith Jackson and Dr. Brookenstein, my dog Kevin Harrington. I got you, bro. I know you busy. What's up, Donna Sneed, Mike Hampton? What's up? What's up? What's up, Vanessa and Emerald up in Minneapolis? The 313. I got y'all up in the D. Feels kind of good today. Oh, yeah. We just cruising down the highway today. I got over here my passenger, one of the best ever, Lisa Love. So, yo, it's a blessing for yo's right here, yo. All right, let's go down south to Georgia, north to South Carolina, Virginia. I love you, Nikel. Love you, Pat. Brian. You know I ain't no Cowboys fan. But go, New York, go, New York, go. You know how we roll. Shout out to my dog, Two Dog, down in Georgia. Thanks for calling me, bro. I needed that conversation. Al down in Florida, John down in Florida, my dog Leroy Cooper and Karen, my family down there. I love y'all. And all the Robinsons down in Millersville, Sandersville, Georgia. We're going to make this happen, all right? Shout out to one of my homegirls down there, Nola, Rocky, I got you. Shout out to my wardrobe consultancy. I love you, sweetie. I'm rocking the P-Funk Radio today. Thank you for the hookup, all right? Let's go over to the Hawaii, the Samoans, doing the Humpty Hump. We're going to get all of that good energy in. Lisa Love is in the house. She's bringing it in. I see her landing her carpet like right over here. Oh, I can feel it. All right, watch that ball. Oh, there you go. You easing in. Wow, that's a cool transition. It's a spiritual purpose. Yeah, this is a Zachariah Cloud 9 CD, so y'all can check that out too. Written by my dog, Jeff Roberson. Produced by Kevin Harrington. Sometimes, y'all. Without further ado, all around the world for the funk from the front seat. My producer today, Mr. Mark Lee, is in the house. We appreciate you, Mark. Thank you for everybody out there. You'll see that rose at the top. That's from my girl, Jen Vanderputten and her family. You know, I had to put that there because it is something going on that's, you know, we need to just, you know, keep people in mind for and keep people in prayer for all the time. So, you know, that's very, very important for people that transition out. Their families are left behind, and we need to make sure that we comfort them and hold them and keep them in our spiritual mindset all the time. You know what I mean? If you got a birthday today, yo, happy birthday. I think it's jumping from Aries season soon over to this Taurus season, whatever it's going to be about. I'm with that. But we're going to talk a little bit about that too, you know. So without further ado, I want to bring in somebody that's really close to me, Lisa Love, and you know we're gonna really chop it up for y'all today. She's coming all the way from the West Coast. This beautiful queen took time to wake up early just for us, so we are much appreciative. Thank you. How you doing?
Grand Rising, Zach. Grand Rising, Funk family. What's going on, Royals?
See, I'm in. We're locked in already. We're like already in the middle of the show. It's that good. It's that good, man. So, what's up, George the Funk Vinci? How you doing, big bro? So we chat periodically a lot about just things, right? And
Right.
just for my audience, yeah, happy 420. You're right. You know, I totally forgot 420. All right, smoke them if you got them. So,
Hey, bring on the libations.
hey, bring it right. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, this is gonna be a
Grand
great show.
Rising, George.
Yeah. So for my audience that's just tuning in, maybe for the first time, give us a little background about your musical and kind of spiritual kind of social side. Share a few things with my audience that haven't seen you for the first time.
Okay. It started in the gospel music, of course. I was raised around every woman in my family has had something to do with the music and the healing, but we'll stick with the music for now. So it started in the music and gospel. I was in my first choir when I was 6. And by the time I reached 10, I was in the only young person in an adult choir, you know? And as life progressed, I started getting into what I guess church people would say the secular music, because I found that there's God and spirit, whatever you resonate with in all music, you know? So, and here I am. I'm still a baby in this, in the secular music, in the music outside of gospel. So here I am.
I think that because we all come from some type of tribal musical experience, no matter what part of the world or the country that you come from. As far as our heritage goes, it would stand to reason that we're going to obtain a lot of knowledge from our roots of church, as as dark-skinned people. And I always tell people, I never thought that it was a big deal. It's a big deal in one sense, but I never said, well, I'm supposed to take this for granted because this is what we play. You know what I'm saying? So I never thought of it like, oh, I'm doing something special, because I came from one to the other, because I've done both. And like you, that song we just came on with, that was our spiritual funk CD. We funkin' for God. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, with that's I'm glad you said that, because it's okay sometimes to do other things as long as it's in the name of the Creator, right?
That's right. Okay, before I really go into that, I just want to ask the permission of the elders. You got to acknowledge our elders, those who have made their transition, our funk brothers and sisters who have made, because they're now our ancestors. So I want to ask their permission to speak freely.
Absolutely.
And ask them to
Absolutely.
speak freely. All music is rooted in spirituality. All music, If you're funkin', you funk for God. If you rockin' for God, or whatever it is that you resonate with,
Yeah.
So yes, absolutely.
I think when we listen to a lot of music from, say, before it became too digitized, and there's nothing wrong with that because we all do digital music, so that's a beautiful form. But a lot of the people, or everybody I knew, from Barry Eastman to all my guys, to Jeff Roberson to Al, we all came out of church. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the baddest people ever was sitting back there when they were 2, 3, 4 years old as prodigies. Jeff Roberson being one. I seen this guy playing when he was like 6 years old. Howard Beeman playing 6 years old, and they were on the road with their family, and they could barely hold the instruments, but they were prodigies. So I believe what you do, and I've watched your work. It's amazing. So it's nice to always bring that spirit to this show, and I always want my audience to know for the first time, what you're about, because it's important. It's important. So, so fast forward, how you get into the funk?
How did I get? Because I was raised with it. I had uncles and aunts, and my mother. They were into funk. It was part of growing up in our inner cities, I guess you can call.
Yeah.
I grew up with it.
Yeah, That's what I told you, man. There is so much work to do, you know. When it comes to music, how do we pursue a spiritual lifestyle, and still, you know, maintain and navigate the darkness that's out there? You know, we're going to cover a lot today, so y'all got to strap in, because me and this woman was on the phone last night for like an hour and 45 minutes or something. It was a while. We got some stuff, so we're going to go strap in, take notes.
How to maintain a spiritual lifestyle in the music industry. Is that what you mean?
Yes, yes.
It's not being proven. Again, I'm new to the secular music, but even in the gospel arena, you know, there are snakes and people with agendas, etc., etc. How to maintain it? You better maintain some people say prayer life. I pray, you know, and maintain self-love. You know, not everything that glitters is gold. You know what I mean? If you're in the music industry just to get riches, then of course you're going to attract those lower energies that, okay, this person is hungry for that. So let me dangle a carrot in front of them and have them sell their souls.
Yeah.
Our souls are eternal. So, you know, it's not really ours to go ahead and just sell.
Yeah.
So, you know, and a lot of people rise and fall. You know, the enemy rewards people too, but it's all an illusion.
Yeah, that's right.
I maintain my spiritual background by I'm a world-class champion hermit. I know how to withdraw myself and then when to bring myself out. I'm not interested in being, you know, a celebrity and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, if it happens, is it because it was meant to happen?
Yeah.
Remember that you're here on a mission.
Yeah.
And that funk music, I'm like, oh, this Bootsy Collins, oh, that's on mission. That James Brown, that's on George Clinton, that's on mission.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's all organic. That Zach Robinson, that's on mission.
Something must have dripped on me because I'm still here doing it. So I feel blessed just for that. And look, through all of that, the survival, right? Meeting you and, you know, vibing with the Skunk Mob and checking out all the vibes on the West Coast with Dawn and Victor Taylor. And, you know, it's amazing how we're all connected to one major spirit. You know, It's like we really are. It's really one light. We know about God and we know what that's about and how it draws us through maybe different portals. Some people, you know, Muhammad, some people Buddha, like myself, you know, it's still some people funk, some people classical.
It's all one.
Wow.
It's all one.
All one. Do you think because of, and I'm gonna just keep it real, right? Because of certain elements in the music game that they change the frequencies of certain music, which makes you feel a certain way, which then will mess up your natural rhythm and cause certain things to your mind, and then you manifest it, then bang, you're in trouble.
Absolutely. I'm going to open up by saying that we're not fighting against flesh and blood. Plain and simple. So when people do things and start changing things and going along with agendas, then it's not really all of their will. Some people know exactly what the hell they're doing. The most people do not. When we changed from, let's say, LPs to digitizing everything, you did change the frequency.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, and I want to stay in the funk arena. When I was growing up listening to and gospel and funk, it was on LPs.
Yes.
And it had a way of elevating you and making you want to go out and do good and be good. You know, once it started going digital, then it became numbers and rigid and cold and, you know, all part of some type of diabolical agenda to have people's mind controlled and going in a direction that is just not high vibing. So, this is why it doesn't last. We got artists coming and going and coming and going.
Yeah. We all see this, right? And as elders, we're all gatekeepers, and it's not about our chronological age. It's about the wisdom that we've been somehow through our journey here been able to just, download. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I just turned 66. I've seen the music physically just distort itself into this horrible picture, and only certain images that of goodness get through. That's why I work with Tony Cam and the Funk All-Star Kids over there in Virginia. And shout out to y'all, man. Y'all are crushing it. You'll see me soon. I love doing that. I love it. But we're bringing it back to the real, We're bringing it back to the real.
You got to remember something about the body. The body responds to the frequency, and it also responds to that water. We're made up of water and electricity.
Yeah.
I'm kind of staying on that subject we were just talking about. And these people who understand and understand that, are not going to be mainstream. There you go. The mainstream. You know what I mean? We have to force our way and take it, and not play into these doggone agendas, because the frequencies that some of this music is playing on is affecting the water.
Yeah.
It's affecting the water in our bodies and in our actions.
Yeah, I've seen that firsthand, because there were times when in my wilder days, right, I used to go check out a rave actually I went for more like to study it, like an anthropologist, because I couldn't believe. Now I have had at that time I had a few surgeries, so in my mind I couldn't believe people was purposely breaking bones for some music. So I went one night in New York City. They had this underground spot, and I stood on the side, because those that didn't want to get involved could just watch this stuff. And that's when I first realized there's something going on with the music. I was like, yo.
Can I say something? I don't want to scare people with this, but it is demonic.
Yeah.
It's demonic. Anything, and it's a, I don't like using the word, because it's really a made, but it's a devil energy to keep you. All it is so that it can bind you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And hold you to a contract that, that keeps you a slave.
Yeah. I noticed that right away. Yeah. It's almost to the point now where we're fighting two different wars spiritually, right? We have the one that we always have to protect our families, friends, and loved ones. That one. Mm-hmm. And then that's that one, right? Thanking the heart every day when you first wake up, before you do anything. Thank your heart. Remember that. If you're out there and you listening to the show, before you do anything, you thank your heart. And Darrell Jones, thank you for that. Thank you. Because it pumps all night. Your heart, been pumping since the day you was
your lungs.
Since day one, they've been on the job. Not a day off.
Not a day off.
Not a day off, man. Yep. So when it comes down to these frequencies and things, I would just advise everyone, just be cautious going into the future. I'm an artist myself, and I'm very cautious about what I put on anything that I record and who's actually on it. That makes a big difference,
Yes.
Yeah. So women, obviously, well, I'll backtrack a little bit. The age of Aquarius, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're, one of the people that I truly trust with this knowledge. Drop some knowledge on us about that.
Age of Aquarius. It's the water bearer. Again, we're dealing with the water, so we're dealing with the human body. We're also dealing with the mind. It's the information age. If people say, what is the age of Aquarius? It's the information age. With all the information that is out there via internet, these handheld computers we walk around with. There's no excuse for not being able to find out what you need to find out to change things.
Yeah.
That is the age of Aquarius. And also the unveiling of demonic energies through music, the music industry, all the entertainment industry,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
Our governments and all of that.
Yeah.
It's all being revealed. You know,
Yep.
you cannot build a new crystal castle unless you tear down the old crap shack
Yeah.
first. And that's what the age of Aquarius is coming in to do. But if you're not willing and you're still planting seeds of destruction, going along because of ignorance or because you're ignorant and you want to keep it that way, then that's what you will reap. But eventually these energies will be eclipsed out. And if you're part of it, you will be eclipsed out.
Yeah. You know, you're right. Because see, and when it comes down to this spirituality, the energy, because, you know, it's a spirit, it's inside of us. And like you said, you and I talk about, this is a rented earth suit. So, you know, I'm just borrowing this for a second.
It's an avatar.
Yeah, it's a red suit. And I could tell there are people out there right now, or that may watch this show later, and we're hanging out with the amazing Lisa Love today, my funk sister from another mister. I love this woman, right? You know, recording artist, you know, the whole bit. So when we see people struggling mightily to pick a side, right? There's an empathy that I feel for them, but I can no longer try to pull them, you know, because I need my energy now for this other battle. Elaborate on that a little bit, please.
I'm just going to tell everybody listening or will stumble upon this video. I'm going to tell you to protect your energy. If you want to know how to protect your energy and you need tools, hit me up. Protect your energy. You cannot be an overgiver. And please take my advice. I have lived my life since childhood with overgiving to people. This is now the time of coming out of beliefs into knowing. And if you know somebody is a doggone energy vampire or a system is vampirism going on, then you need to protect your energy because it's all about kill, steal, and destroy. Once again, we're not dealing with flesh and blood. We're dealing against wickedness in high and low places.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Protect your energy.
Yeah, that's what I try to remind myself every day of you know, in every aspect of the rest of my journey. You know, I just think about constant, I guess they are refreshers, reminders, you know, oh yeah, that's why. Oh yeah, this is why, you know, it's like constant. It's like I know I'm getting ready to graduate, so I can feel like, okay, I'm taking this final test. You know, it's like the SATs or something. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny that you mentioned that because you know what? It's like going to school. You know, you get the lesson plan set before you. You study it. You take a test, and then there's an internship where now what you've learned, it has to be applied to your life. Now you're on mission. I don't care who you are. You're here for a purpose.
Yep.
And it's your fault if you do not heed that call. You got to learn something about intuition. That's that God in you. Everybody that's here, you are a god or a goddess. You're nobody else's god or god, but you're a god or a goddess. If you say, I'm a child of God, then you are a god.
Yeah.
You are a goddess. Yeah. Protect y'all's energy.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that was a mother who came out. It just came, you know, ashe, mothers.
This is why I love to have you on the show, because organically, as we go down these paths of spirituality, things need to be said, because as we look around our society, we can clearly see there's still a huge gap with our pride, with our willingness to work hard, and with our willingness to pull ourselves up, you know, And it's not about race, it's about economically, we the economically deprived. And I think spirituality will tie into that. Go ahead.
Ego. You remember what the elders used to say, edging God out. It's an acronym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People believe that, they are what their minds tell them they are.
Yeah.
We are a three triune being, mind, body, and spirit. You are not who I say I'm Lisa Love, Alpha Unc Omega, Lisa Love 1111. But I am more than that. We are souls having human experiences. This is why we experience deja vus. Oh, I've done this before. Yes, you probably have, and you're here trying to learn and get the lesson right.
Right. That's for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we always go around believing that what our ego is telling us, our mind, our flesh, then of course, with our governments and all of that, you see this playing out. It's a crazy train. Come through Ozzy Osbourne, the crazy train.
Yeah. Great song, by the way.
I like covering that song, by the way.
Yo, I used to teach my kids at the School of Rock that song. I was like, okay, I hear you, Ozzy. I understand where you're coming from. I hear what you're saying.
Right. When people start reading, when people get back into symbolism and understanding that we're cursing one another with this English language, you know what I mean? I think that, we're going to really get back on track and continue tearing down the old crap shack so we can build crystal castles.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I think because of the amount of information, like you said at the top, and we're hanging out with the amazing Lisa Love, 9 Underground TV, every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My producer, Mr. Mark Lee, and all the beautiful people on the thread. It's good to see you because I know y'all will be popping in and out, and that's all good. As we look around and see, the planet itself begging for us to take care of it, what could we do as spiritual workers to help heal the planet besides recycling and stuff like that? Because we're losing our air.
First of all, you got to work with the people. Have to work first. Clean your house. Clean your own house.
Right.
And then start with your neighbors on either side of you or in front of you.
Yeah.
And then you guys start going out and raise the vibrations, the water in people. Okay, that's how you can start healing the planet. See, the universe and the planet responds to frequencies. If you could take music and put it next to a plant and watch that plant react, that's the earth. The earth is alive. This is a mother.
Yep.
And right now the weather is going crazy because of other various reasons we're not going to go in. And she's reacting. She's trying to shake the parasites off of her.
Pretty much. Yeah, exactly. See, and people, I say that all the time because I used to leave classical music or light jazz music on for my plants when I was leaving. And people are like, why are you leaving that on? I was like, yo, they're alive. Don't you think they're alive? I said, this is what they like to hear. Yeah, this is what they like to hear. Yeah, it's so simple. It always made sense for me to do that. That's why I have fish and plants, because I need other sources of nature around me in my life all the time. And people, they might not understand that, but that makes me feel, complete almost. You know what I mean? If I could, I'd live in the forest.
Man, you both. Completely off grid.
Mm-hmm. Completely. Yep. You told me a personal story, and I'm gonna let you talk about it on the other side, about something that your mom went through, and you said you might wanted to share that. So, we're gonna just take a quick second and run a few spots. My producer, Mr. Mark Lee, back there, has his hands full, so I'm going to step in the producer seat for a second, but you guys, man, check this woman out because her music is fire. She's got new stuff coming out, and and he works with some amazing people out on the West Coast and Skunk Mob and those guys. So it's really cool to vibe like this with you about stuff other than the music game. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's dope. I appreciate that. Oh yeah. So anyway, I want to give a shout out to everybody that's watching, and I know a lot of you guys will actually go back and watch again. So we appreciate that. But right now, I got to hear from my dog, Jeff, and see what he's going to say.
Hey, fam, what's goody good? What's really good? My name is Jeff Roberson from the gospel group called Jeff Roberson and New Life. And I'm coming to you from the town that we had to name it twice. It's so nice. New York. And I'm bringing you some news about my brother from another mother, Brother Zach, who's bringing you his hot new show called Funk from the Front Seat. Listen, he's bringing you funk from the vault, from the past, from the present, and into the future. He's got that music that makes the hair on the back of your neck rise up. He's bringing you funk all the way down to your toes. This is that funk that makes you really want to groove. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial as he brings you funk from the front seat. Listen, let's go.
Hey, it's Chrissy Key Rollins here with Holistic Restoration, inviting you to check out Zach Robinson with Funk in the Front Seat. He drops new episodes every Saturday at noon on the East Coast time, and replays are posted for whenever you miss a live stream. You can find him on 9 on the Grind TV and also on YouTube, and get ready for the funk because he brings it every week along with hot topics, amazing guests, and great conversations. Again, that's Zach Robinson with Funk from the Front Seat on 9 on the Grind TV and YouTube. Go check them out.
Hey, this is Jen Vanderputten, writer of Code and Prose. You are watching Funk from the Front Seat with Zach Roberson. Tune in every Saturday at noon for excellent and important conversation.
Hey, this is Keith Jackson with P-Funk Radio, inviting you to check out my brother Zach Robinson with Funk from the Front Seat. Saturdays, 12 noon on the East Coast and 9 a.m. on the West Coast. It all happens on 9 on the Grind TV and also on YouTube. Great guest, great conversation each and every Saturday. That's Funk from the Front Seat with Zach Robinson on 9 on the Grind TV and YouTube. Check him out.
What's up, Royal Funk fans? This is Lisa Love, aka Alpha Unk Omega, coming to you from Love's Temple here in Southern California, inviting you to 9 on the Grind, Funk from the Front Seat with Zach Robinson. This is what I want you to do for me. Tune in every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come join the meeting of minds. I guarantee souls growth and high vibrations, not to mention the love. Keep it funky, y'all.
And there's the real you. Thank you for that shout out. That's beautiful. And shout out to, like I said, P-Funk Radio, KNN Jams, everybody over there, Larry Funkster Jones, and Heidi, and Robin Circular P. George the Funk Da Vinci, Curtis Wilcox, all the people that help support and give us a lot of love and everything, as well as everybody out there that's, man, we appreciate all you guys, man. Definitely David Webb, Funk Chronicles Hall of Fame. Thank you for all those accolades and nice things that you do and keeping the funk alive. And, big shout out to my big sister, Dawn Silva. I know you rocking that book, man. I'm definitely going to pick one up very shortly, as soon as I get settled. I'm in the process of moving. But yeah, back to what we were going to get into with Lisa Love right here. You had told me a story, so would you like to share that with my audience?
We were talking. Listen, what were we talking about last night?
You mentioned how something with the situation with your mom and what kind of like what she had went through and stuff. So you had said that you might want to talk about that, but you might not. So I don't want you to have to, talk about it.
I've been in hiding for so long, hiding spiritual gifts and all of that, because I was taught that it was demonic, and as I got older, I realized that that was part of an agenda to keep chosen ones or light workers, whatever you want to call them, with gifts hidden. My mother, my spiritual journey began with my mother, Brenda Faye Mason, Ashe. She is now an ancestor. She was a Scorpio woman with high spiritual gifts, and she it was a modern dancer, and she I guess she began her spiritual journey a long time ago. She was demonized by people because it just wasn't the time. She was part of the Black Panther family, and she was just awesome. She got caught up in the wave of drugs and that whole entertainment lifestyle, which eventually took a toll on her life. Yeah. And at the end, though, she was able to, surrender all of that, but it was already took a toll on her avatar, and of course she died of complications. Yeah. But she instilled all of that into me. Yeah. I always would say, how people say, "Oh, I'll never be like my mom or my dad," and we wind up taking either the best or the worst parts of them into our lives. And I'm glad to say that I've taken the best parts of it. Yeah. Yeah. Our spiritual gifts are usually activated by some trauma. And people don't want to hear that. They want to think a spiritual awakening is sunshine and lollipops. It is not. It's a tower. If we have any tarot readers out there, which I am one, you would know in the deck, spiritual awakening is like a tower. And I experienced some traumatic things with my mother. And through my mother, I have watched her go through rape and overdoses, and put into institutions because, bad drugs, I guess, and she passed these gifts on to me and my baby brother, and we learned manifestation while we were young in elementary school age. We manifested our mother out of that. We were told our mother was the lowest, scummiest thing that ever slithered under a rock, but it was just the opposite. Yeah, yeah. That crack cocaine came into our communities like a tornado and destroyed our homes. Yeah, it did. Yeah. But she made it out of that. But it activated me. Yeah. Yeah. It was a plague. I told people, like, they didn't realize plagues sometimes don't always have to be like, rats or, bugs or locusts and all of this other stuff. I tell people when that stuff came through, it was a plague. It was like, because it was so many people that got sucked into it overnight. It was like, bang. Overnight. Destroyed homes. Yeah, overnight. I was like, oh my God, and so thank you for sharing that, because that's a deep story, because obviously gifts were passed on to you, and then you pass them on to others and you share them, man. That's amazing, because not everybody would have overcame that, A lot of people would not have overcame that. So these things that they say something. I'm sorry. One more point on that. They say that the sins of the parent, how you know how that saying goes, are carried on by the sea. This is very true. Again, energy, demonic energies, and attachments follow. To our siblings and with our children. Yeah. And I had experienced some of those things that my mother did. I am a recovering addict over years. I started, I didn't want to live when I was 18 years old, watching my mother go through what she was going through. I got caught up in that world. Yeah. Again, crack cocaine was running rampant, and I got caught up in that. And once again, I had a son, and he manifested me right out of it. He still didn't know how powerful he is. He's stepping into it. But I experienced these things which kept, tower moment after tower moment. When I say tower moment, I mean things that happen to a person suddenly.
Yeah.
I experienced the rape. I experienced all of this at a very young, innocent age.
Oh my God.
But where a lot of people would have just completely, fall by the wayside and just died. And that, again, I wanted to just end it all. I didn't want to live. I didn't think I would make it to 27.
Yeah.
But the divine had something else to say. Well, no, child, pull yourself together, because you gonna make it. And you've got. I am somebody's go-to book. I realize a young funketeer that says, "Okay, I'm somebody's go-to manual." And so, what right have I not to treat myself as a goddess and stand up and tell my story? So I'm here to share these things with people. You want to know anything? I'm an open book. But if you come with negative energy, you will be stopped at the door. And if you persist, I don't know what the divine has for you, but it's not life. So get a sister up.
Yo, that is such a powerful statement and energy that you just put out, because I felt it over here. I was already sunken in, but then as soon as you went there, my heart I felt that warmth that you provide, and through all of your knowledge and experiences, and also I've always vibed with you because you're not a judgmental spirit.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Well, I want to just put it out there. It doesn't matter what your sexual preference is. It doesn't matter your eating habits. It doesn't matter if you're on drugs right at this moment. I have nothing to judge. I'm not here to judge. This is what keeps people from going to their spiritual or even if they're religious and everything, because they feel like I've got to hide this. That is the lie and the trick that comes straight from the pit of hell.
Yeah.
Church members will tell you to come as you are, but that's a whole nother story. We'll do another show about religious and church and all of that kind of stuff. You'll find freedom and peace when you come to brothers and sisters like myself. Yeah. This is a no judgment zone. You ask what we can do to heal the planet. Yeah. You got to start with yourself. You start with coming to people like me. And I intend on starting a business or a blog. Your gifts are supposed to make way for you. Well, then, yes. Come on to Lisa Love.
Yeah. It's funny because that's right. See, because I always felt like I'm just like a little tiny portal in space that opens up, and I just bring people to other people. And I told you last night, I so love doing that.
Yeah.
I just do. I love to connect people with people because I guess that's part of my journey. That was one of the lessons I guess I needed to learn. So I'm learning it now. How important.
You learn by trial and error, Zach. Yeah. Trial and error. Even the stories in the Bible. I mean, we know some of those ascended masters, were whoremongers and thieves and murderers.
Yeah.
Psychopaths, sociopaths. That doesn't mean that you cannot change. People feel I'm too deep in. Oh, yes, I've made a deal with the devil. You stop believing these lies. You're keeping yourself in the Eight of Swords. Again, here I'm referring to the tarot deck. You're keeping yourself in the Eight of Swords, which means stuck. Yeah. You can free yourself. You want to heal? You can heal yourself. Or you go to a healer, they give you the key, and it's up to you to hold on to it.
Yeah, that's right.
And take it and live.
Yeah. One of your favorite sayings, I'm sure that you said a lot, and I'm paraphrasing. When a healer gives you the healing, hold on to it. Maintain it yourself.
That's it. People say, well, this is why people running back and forth to psychiatrists. Dr. Phil, Dr. B, everything be all right come through Prince. You know what I'm saying? Because they're energy vampires. No, 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 no. When a healer comes into your life, they come and heal you in the way that they know how. I'm not going to say everything how I heal, but I'll give you one thing. I'm an energy healer. I heal your emotions and everything. You're supposed to hold on to it, put it in the bag and put it on your chest, wear it on your neck, and cultivate it like it's a baby plant. The plant needs what? Water and everything. The healer only gives you the seed. That's it. If you have to keep coming back to a healer and sucking on them, their energy, you have now demonized yourself and made yourself an energy vampire.
Yep.
That's not what healers' jobs is.
Yep. That's right. We got some great comments coming through, and influence enablers.
Yep. I love it.
Yeah. Because see, people, we all about that funk. So we all have that thing, that binds us, that keeps us together. And I think, Mark, while you back there, could you run some of these comments? I think that when we
George, you're a light worker, George.
Yeah. That's what he was saying. I'm getting to him.
When I see his comments. You a light worker, George. You go through trauma when you were young. It's usually to activate you, because for a time like this, they're going to fight tooth and nail they're fighting tooth and nail to keep age of Aquarius from coming to fruition. And the 144,000, because there's only 144,000 of us on this whole planet of billions.
Yep.
You a light worker. Get on mission.
Yeah. See, that's why, again, we met through social media, and there are some good things that come out of that. I just warn people, beware. Like Prince said, play the computer. Don't let the computer play you. You know what I'm saying? And see, that's what I was going to get into for a hot second, because we have this constant need. Our energy is pulled to that little box that you mentioned, right? The little handheld box, right?
Yeah. It's a supercomputer. You can get all the information you want. It's a supercomputer in your hand.
Yeah.
And what people doing? What you doing with it?
Yes, that's the key. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to try to utilize it for like directions or to find a recipe, or are you going to spew hate? It allowed everyone to get on a soapbox and spew out this venomous hate, and without consequences almost, but all that energy, you tell us, what it does.
That energy can either create or it can destroy. It's a superpower. You've got to learn how to channel it, like it and hold it, to make it expand or to shrink it down. You have to learn how to channel it, and then you need to follow your intuition. Go into your prayer closets or to your altars or your shrines and sit in solitude so you can get instructions, downloads on how to utilize it. Don't go running out there willy-nilly. And I understand that your intentions some of your intentions are very, very positive, but you need marching orders. There's an order to everything in this universe. I don't care what you're talking about. You're talking about politics. You're talking about one-on-one relationships. You're talking about industry. All of that there. There's a divine order to everything. Get to the collective mindset and get think tanks like here. what we're doing here, what we're attempting to do here with Funk from the Front Seat, and form think tanks, come and congregate together in the nature. You don't need a building, having a building, and I don't want pastors to get mad at me, but you don't need a building. What you need is to be in nature so that you can ground yourself. Everybody needs to. I want you to think of the movie Avatar. Everybody gathered around that big tree, right? If you haven't seen the movie, I suggest that you look at it. See, Hollywood will lie and tell you the truth at the same time. But that movie right there, I was very impressed.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that happen subliminally, and that's part of the times that we live in that are definitely right in front of us. And they're no longer, and they've been, I guess, I prophesized by people that are that highly spiritually vibrating, and whether it be in certain biblical texts, or whether it be, Nostradamus, or whether it be other people that had gifts, whoever they were, right? And they said, they told us all of this, and now we're like, people are surprised. I was like, but yo, they've been trying to hip us to this forever. Am I right?
It's on stone. It's in stone. If you can go to different parts of the world and find things that are on stone, I like to refer back to ancient Kemet. For some reason, I really feel that I have blood ties with ancient. That's Northern Africa, and everybody wonder what Kemet is. It's what they call in Egypt now.
Yeah,
I have great ties with it, and I have started doing study and researching. And yes, they have been telling us there's nothing really new under the sun. They've done it before.
Yeah.
Only now things are coming because they're our ancestors are our spirit teams that are outside of this dome, or whatever you want to call this atmosphere. They're tired now because they are destroying the mother, the earth, with their foolishness.
Yeah.
So they've been telling us these things for ever and ever. Now things are starting to come into fruition. And again, they are going to fight tooth and nail to keep people asleep.
That's right.
You
know what's so cool, right? Like, and I think about this all the time. Out of even some tragedies and disasters, good things come, because this particular show was started during COVID by me and Mark, right? In my car, in the front seat, yo. And like the balance of, okay, this dark, but then, the creator's like, listen, there's a little tiny speck for you to slip through and get some information out.
It was a portal. COVID-19 was a portal so that light workers can start sliding in with ease.
Yep.
Light workers weren't fooled by the COVID. We know, I don't know if we're supposed to be saying this, but by that traumatic event.
Yeah.
We weren't fooled.
Nope.
And that thing that COVID, what we were just talking about, is not new. It's been around for a long time. They just learned how to, I guess, activate it. But anyways, yes, it was a portal so that light workers can slide through with ease. They had to tear down some of that crap shack that I was speaking about earlier so that light workers can do their, I'm using this word intentionally.
You're right about that, Cheryl. And you're right. And the funny thing is, right, I said to myself then, because I was talking to Kevin about it, we talked soon as, because you did the same thing. As soon as we all got locked down, we all started calling all our people just to get some opinions, right? It's like
a call to the collective.
Yes,
it was a call to the collective, and when the collective gets a call, then they start calling other pieces of the collective.
Yeah,
Remember that quote I was telling you about? Now
Yep.
we were in COVID, stitching our own little piece of a quilt. We didn't even know what the hell we were doing, but we was doing it. And then we
Yep.
start reaching out to others and stitching their part of the quilt to our part, or vice versa. And that's how that works. It's so simple.
Yep. And we were talking.
Hard.
Yeah, that's right. And see, the way Kevin talks, he's very low key because you talked to him, right? And he said, yeah, well, they don't believe in God now. I don't know what to tell them.
The time of talking and preaching and standing over people, beating them over head with books and all of that, which these books are all incomplete anyway. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff is done, son. We've got all the information in there. Well, I'm keep going back to this handheld supercomputer in our hands or on our laptops.
Yeah.
All the information is out there. Choose a side. The age of knowing is here. The age of believing is over. You can believe all you want. You need to know some stuff now, and there's no reason for you not to know.
That's right.
My children.
That's right. Let's talk a little bit about diet and organic versus processed. Your thoughts. And how that ties with the spiritual chakras, which will be next. I told y'all we got a lot. Y'all better take notes. I told you.
Okay, so your diet. People ask me, I'm 53 years old. By the time the women in my family, because we were still in the Piscean age, they were do as I say age. And by the time I came of age, we were now ushering in the energy of the Aquarian age. Okay. By the time they were my age, they had high blood pressure, diabetes. Everybody has this in their family. And don't let no damn doctor tell you that this is hereditary and this is going to happen to you. You can't do anything. No, it's a lie from the pit of hell. I stopped eating a lot of meat. I eat some meat. You know what I'm saying? I live in an area where, markets are strategically placed and certain foods are putting there because, they have to become dependent. We need the industry. The matrix needs you dependent on their medicines and all of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I stopped eating a lot of meats. I do not have high blood pressure. I have blood pressure like a teenager. I stopped doing a lot of dairy. I stopped doing a hell of a lot of dairy because it led to diabetes. Okay. I stopped eating a lot of the processed food. That stuff is not even real. Now we have vegetables that are made. We have vegetables that are made in a damn lab.
I love it how your voice took a couple of octaves up.
I'm sorry, I get passionate about these subjects.
It's not even real.
It's not real. Stop eating this stuff.
Yo. Poison. When I ride by, I'm like, poison. They got poison stations set up like gas.
Look here. Children, if it don't have a seed in it, don't eat it. Don't eat it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you can take a flame to something and hold it there and it not burn, don't eat it.
Yeah.
You got a handheld computer. You can go to, when you see people in the produce session looking up stuff, pay attention. Pay attention because that's somebody that's awake. Be cautious of what you put into your body because mucus and inflammation is. This is why they took Dr. Sebi out.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I'll go mention
inflammation, heart disease. Remember, our lungs and our heart are connected together. The women in my family had diabetes, high blood pressure, and then their heart gave out. Be careful what you eat in. I'm gonna tell you what's in my diet. Certain beans, very little starch, very little. And I'm working my way to getting out there. Implement a certain fasting. If you want to know about healthy fastings, hit my boy up, Victor Taylor, the Funkonaut. Okay, hit him up. Do a fasting in your once a month. Fast off of something. Do what is according to your body. Your body will tell you, no, I can't do this. Yes, I can do this.
Very
You don't
important.
need, the body doesn't need to always be stuffing itself. That processed food you get from the fast food places is programming you to tell you you're hungry when you're not.
Yeah, and the
You only
commercials.
need to sustain yourself. The largest meal in your diet should be the lunch.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can you don't even really need to eat but once a day. Sometimes I eat once a day. To get that energy in the morning times, I may have some dates. Leave that orange juice alone. I used to love orange juice, but there's other ways to get vitamin C. They block out the sun, so it's hard to get vitamin D. But there are certain vegetables. Look it up. Everything I tell you, you can look up for yourself.
That's right.
And
That's right.
then do what your body is calling. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you what it needs.
Yep. That's right. That's right. This is why connecting our health and, I stopped eating about like 6-7 months ago. I tried to curb it. And then about 3 months ago, I realized, okay, I can't eat anything after 9 o'clock, after sundown. Because what I did is I took a trip back to my ancestors. And I said, okay, if this was the 1700s, 1800s, whatever, right? Once the sun went down, unless you was on guard duty or something, everything was pretty much shut down. You didn't get up and go no midnight snacks and, I'm going to eat a rabbit. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't work that way. But your body system was regulated more normally,
Yeah.
and you, like you said before so eloquently, much more grounded. And I'm trying to get everybody around me to help me stay grounded so I can help them stay grounded. You know what I mean? Because
Here's
it's
a
very
good way to ground yourself.
Yeah.
Go outside, put your feet on some soil
Yep.
or on some grass, some real grass. Sit next to a tree. Go by the water. You can also ground yourself with spiritual baths. Get your notes out. This is how you make a spiritual bath. You can use other things, look it up yourself, but this is what I use. You can get some sea salt. You want to break some things off of you, make some black coffee and pour that into your bath. Slice up some limes or lemons. Cinnamon in your bath. Dried rose petals and rose oils, rose water. Okay, moon water. You make moon water by filling up a glass container, sending it out on a full moon, and let that energy, into the water and put it in your bath. But there's several ways that you can ground yourself. I suggest that you learn how to do it. I'm an earth sign. I'm a Virgo. And one thing we do is move slow, and grounding is our foundation. Everyone needs that. Yes.
I think that because it's connected to our chakras.
Absolutely.
And I'm constantly learning about chakras. Every day I read a little bit more about just staying spiritually aligned, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you got another Virgo fan out there.
Hey, Virgo Nation.
Shout out. So yeah, and see, I don't understand, and it's not for me to understand why people don't realize that spirituality and science and astrology is all one in the same. There's so much pushback against that, and I get why, because traditionally there are things that people were or understanding in themselves that they just believe that's the right way to go. But I can tell you, I've experienced them all, and I've taken a little bit from each one. And I think that was why I had to take this journey this one last time, because there is no absolute. The only absolute is the power of the one.
And you're going to find that within yourself. I'm going to tell you a story that an elder told me real quick. They said God and the devil, let's say the devil, made a deal. God said, I'm going to give the humans, or angels, devil, you know what I mean. Anyways, I'm going to give the humans, free will. I'm going to give them divinity. They're going to be gods and goddesses on this Malkuth, this earth. And the fallen angel said, hey, you can't do that because, they're just going to destroy and all of that. I looked into their future, and yes, they did. They used their free will to kill, steal, and destroy. Okay? He says, well, you know what? I'm going to give it to him anyway, just in case you're right. But I'm going to prove to you my creation is higher than that. And what he did was hide that divinity within the one, within you. You're one. and it's right here anyway. You have it. You want to change something, and I love Buddhism. You want to change something, you change it. You are your savior. You're waiting on some guy to come down, floating on a cloud, to come and save you. You are that one. You can achieve, and Christ is a title. There were 16 of them recorded, Christ. If you want to be that savior, choose it. You have your free will and you have your divinity. It took me too long to realize that was inside of me. Now that my ancestors, the women in my family, the Long, shout out and ashe to the Long sisters, they knew this.
Yeah.
My mother knew this.
Yep. Yep. And thank you for saying that, because that's blasting. Pow, that's on fire, you know. But you know what's funny? And if we all think back, no matter where we come from, we can remember sitting by our parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts as kids, listening to them tell stories.
Yep.
And see, that's what we don't do anymore. Because those stories, that's why it took me so long, like, you know, in my journey, because once I realized, I was like, you know what? I need to go back to innocence when I was basically a child and remember what I was listening, re-download it because it's already there. I just got to dust it off, rebooting, which we're going to talk about in a second. And I said, I remember those stories were not just stories. They were actual spiritual connections. And that's how they were sharing that energy. And it was always such a good feeling to sit on. And I'm getting that warm feeling right now. Thank you. Oh, my God. Sit there and just listen to those stories. You know what I'm saying? Right. Thank you. Yes. They're coming through. See, I acknowledge. I didn't forget.
You acknowledge them, they show up. They're always there, but you have to give them permission to come in.
Yeah, they do. And it just reminds me we need to do more of that, because it was a miniature tribe. You know, you'd have maybe 8 to 10 family members sitting in the living room, whatever, and it just, you know,
it's back to the collective mind mentality. The pre-internet and all of that, even pre-postal, elders would sit around, and the young ones, and this is all races, okay, and they would tell these tales. What it was instruction. It was instruction. It's a key of life. Come through Stevie Wonder. It was an instruction, and what it was part of, it was a rite of passage. It has been lost. It's been lost on the females, and it's been lost on the males.
Yeah.
We have to go back to these things. This is what the ancestors are telling me right now. They're saying we have to go back to these things, or we are going to lose. We're going to lose. How do you lose when you know it's right here in our face? The 3D, the 5D is merging with the 3D. It's right here. The veil is now it's so thin, it's non-existent now. We are walking hand in hand with beings from other planets. We're walking hand in hand with the ancestors that are now back in their natural form, which is energy. So then, what are we going to do? We have to go back to it. I choose to go back. It has to be a choice. Once again, it is free will. It's free will. You have to use your free will to do good and be good. It is so simple. It is ridiculous.
It's such a good feeling to know that we can be part of this change today on this journey right now. And which started like last night, which started, I don't know, 3,000 years ago, you know, in Atlantis.
It's longer than that.
Yeah, right. That's right. Thank you for reminding me. I had to double back. I missed a couple of exits. But yeah. You know, it's so we're in such a place right now where people are violent, depressed, and going back to the top about the music, there was something about vinyl, right? And tell us your thoughts on that.
The vinyl record was able to capture and what is the word I'm looking for? The vinyl record was able to convey the energy and to affect the water in our body. We are made up of water and electricity, okay? Because flesh will go away, but electric and water. And when we played the vinyl records, it tended to make people happy, enthusiastic. It raised the vibration of the person so much it affected the neighbor and the neighbor's neighbor, and then in the next city, in the next country. They were seeking how to disrupt this energy, this raising of the vibrations by digitizing everything. First, it was that big laser disc, and then it was the smaller. And they can really manipulate the energy now because everybody is streaming things. They can, once a person puts out, let's say, music, now they can screw with the energy of it.
Yeah.
They can, and you think that you're putting out, oh, this is going to really lift somebody's spirits. Yes, if they know what they're looking for, but they're not getting the same feeling as they did when it was on wax.
Yeah, that's right. And see, to add that, then I want to give a couple of shout outs because people are shouting you out, and I want to make sure I acknowledge, Cheryl, my co-producer, I know you shouting it out, but we'll put some of these comments back up. But to add to that, other than being in an automobile, growing up listening to music was always tribal because you had to be in one spot. Even with a transistor radio, everybody would gather around the person who had it. Or when boom boxes came out, everybody would gather around boom box. It was tribal,
And
right, exactly. And see, being tribal, it's still like you said, and those albums, you could hear the little when you put the album on, and right away it just made you feel. When I heard That's the Way of the World, that album made me cry. That song made me cry. Right on the spot.
Yeah.
When I heard it, get together on a special day, I was like,
yeah, man. Artists like Rolls Royce and the Jackson 5, Michael Jackson. I told you last night, I even had an LP for Sean Cassidy. There was albums of the Beatles, and you know what I'm saying? Diana Ross. I mean, all of these things. The Clark sisters, my grandmother, Al Green, man. Din, 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 din. When that LP was put on, Love and Happiness, well, shit, it was over. It's over. This is why this music is still being streamed. You got artists coming out with, and I'm not going to name any of the new artists and all of that kind of stuff because I'm not trying to create enemies. What I'm trying to say is this is why you got these new artists coming and going. I said that earlier, coming and going and coming and going. They don't last. It's not meant for you to last. Go back. And I admire these new artists that are sampling some of the Georges and Al Greens and all of that kind of stuff. What I would say is find a way to make LPs again. People, break out your old record players. If you want this energy back, you got to take it back because we have put under a glass dome. It's time to break that dome. I'm not talking about the firmament and all of that, but maybe I am. But I'm telling you, it's a glass ceiling that we have been put. You got to break this glass ceiling and go back to what's natural. And things are tribal. Everything is tribal. It takes a village to raise children, and if we do not give them this rite of passage back through our expression, through music, live music. All the digital is cool, but all the synthesizing and all of that kind of stuff come through Shaka Khan. All of this, what is it called when you change the voice and all of that kind of stuff? It's cool.
Yeah.
But there are those who are anointed, and I'm going to draw myself in. Come in, pull in, collective. I got something to say. All of this synthesizing the voice, there are those who are anointed and appointed that have the voice naturally. You don't have to do a doggone thing to their voice. Let them sing, let them speak. Play the instruments. Do not, what is auto-tune? That's what I was trying to say. Trying to make this is why everybody can be a superstar. Oh, hell no. Some people shouldn't have a voice. Some people should sit back and learn, go back to school, pull up them LPs and listen. Knock it off. Look, somebody in the stomach just say, if you don't knock it off.
No. This is church right here. This is our pulpit. You know, we coming straight from reality, because this is what we're seeing as light workers. It's our duty to make sure that we just let people know, hey, it doesn't. You don't have to. Whitney Houston said it best. She was dope, man. She said, listen, she said, everybody ain't gonna sing at Madison Square Garden. She said, some people gotta sing in church.
Let me tell you where
it doesn't make you any less. Doesn't make you any less.
Lisa Love started singing in the church, and then before I was able to save enough money and get myself a car, I was singing on the bus stops, changing life on my way to work. working at the grocery stores in Wally World. You know what I'm saying? I had people come up to me in tears because it helped raise my vibrations. This is how I regenerate myself. I can sing loud as hell right here in my house and be content. If I make money doing it, so be it.
Yeah.
But I'll give it away free before I start, becoming that low vibration, or I've got to be a superstar and I got to step on toes to do this and I got to sacrifice people. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah. It kind of goes hand in hand right now with subliminal seduction, and being seduced subliminally, because what people see now, they automatically want to be it. And because of the handheld device, it allows everybody to have constant 15 minutes of fame. It's just a continuing loop. But what happens is you're not really living life. That's what you're missing. That's why we're having this show today. Because yes, you're living your life through those 10 to 12 second intervals all day long. And then once you get in that loop and they got you in the matrix, bang, they got you.
They got your ass.
They got
and it's hard as hell to come up out of it. I never crossed over. My soul ain't for sale. Oh, damn, what you do. My soul is not for sale. My soul is for me to wield as I so pleased.
Yep.
And it's also to be somebody's go-to manual so they can come up out the BS. I wanted to say something else, but I'm trying to, be a goddess.
You are. And I got to get to some of these comments, because George Devonka Vinci was talking about chicken, and he said, people are eating chicken that was never born. That's right.
You're right about that, George. The chicken is man-made, and it causes inflammation. And Lord, and I love me some chicken.
Yeah. I think it's in our DNA.
But it's true.
David Chappelle said it's in our DNA. We can't help it.
Well, and a lot of things are taught and passed down, because, I don't want to say slave food. It was passed down. Diabetes not passed down, no, but the eating habits were.
Yeah.
And people feel like I got to do this because this is how I was taught. Come about that matrix. That's a lie from the pit of hell. No, you don't.
That's right. And of course, Cheryl, our regular guest and producer. Wow, you rock Lisa Love.
All right, Christy. And let me see, who is this? Soul Line Dance. Oh, yeah. Tell the goddess I said what's up. Thank you.
And George is like, yeah, I tell our stories. I was proud of my mom and all her struggles and stories, So when we were talking that, people were commenting
Me
because that
too.
stuff is important, because that's the wisdom. And you're right, George. That was the wisdom, and then also too, love and happiness, because we were talking about that music thing, and
Yeah.
how the vibrations of some of those songs just made us feel good. I remember going to school in the morning, and going by everybody's house, and we all get together groups, and the parents would be letting you play music. WBLS would be on,
Right,
and they'd be
right.
bumping the latest song, and we on our way to school bumping
That's
as
right.
a group. We weren't fighting, we weren't cutting, stabbing, shooting, we weren't doing
None of that. Man, we may get into fights, and you may get a bruised cheek or something like, but we live to fight another day, I guess. You know what I'm saying? There was no heart at the end of the day. You're gonna be friends with Shaquita that you had to fight up the street with.
Yep,
It's all
that's
part
right.
of that growing experience. We weren't murdering each other. I'm gonna tell people that you don't have a right to take somebody else's life. That's not your job,
Right, yeah.
and you got
Yeah,
to stop this madness.
and see what we got right. That's right. And see, it's all part of the bigger picture that we're talking about today, where one thing leads to another, to another, to another, and it's set up like this. And like you said before, and I'm gonna bring Mark on in a minute, because I can see he's pulling his hair out back there. It's sick, because Mark be like looking at me like, I guess I ain't coming in today, but I knew you was busy. I was watching you, bro. Don't worry. But we're on fire right now. But don't worry. But
Y'all
I
come on
guess,
in.
yeah, I guess because we're in this spot right now where, like you said earlier, it's either this side or this side. The energy that's out there that's pulling us away from the goodness. Just be wary of it. You know what I'm saying? George said, think it ain't illegal yet. So we know
That's
how
right.
people be rolling. Mr. Mark Lee, you back there, sir?
I'm definitely back here. Glad to see Lisa just dropping all kinds of jewels of information, dropping all kinds of knowledge, and just being amazing the way that she is, and all along those lines. So yeah, back here. I did have a quick question for you and everything, Lisa, because Zach knows I've always got one and everything. And I was thinking about, you were talking about the gifts that we are naturally born with, and I think that a lot of times we don't even know the gifts that we have, because a lot of people have the ability to have ESP and to have a lot of other things that we don't necessarily address even in our own lives. So what advice would you give to folks in order to tap into their natural gifts?
Okay, let's see here. Prayer and meditation, whatever it is that you resonate, that thing that you get yourself centered and grounded, practice more of that. Stay off the television, stay off the news. You know what I'm saying? Go into solitude and set your intentions. I want to know what my spiritual, it's very simple. Sit, talk to the universe, or talk to God or Jesus, whatever you believe in, because again, it's all one. It's an energy. And then sit and wait, and you will see and feel or hear results. It depends on what your gift is. I could tell you about my gift, a couple of my gifts: clairaudience, clairsentience, clairvoyance. Okay, I'm an empath. I can feel other people's emotions. A lot of people have this. I mean, a lot of people have this. It's a gift of empathy. The Christ had this empathy. Okay, I'm an empath. Stop doing what you're doing, all of this running around and craziness, and quiet your mind. A Buddhist would tell you this. You hear these monks saying, you must center and you must do this and that and everything like that. And he's right. They're right. You have to quiet yourself. You have to protect your energy. Set your intentions. Your intentions should be, I want to know what my gifts are and how to use them. And then you sit and you wait. People are not patient enough.
Yeah, I agree with you on that and everything. Just so I can ask, because you kind of alluded to it earlier, even in your conversation with Zach. But Zach will tell you that I am a big believer in ancestral wisdom, because I definitely stay in tune with my own ancestors and all along those lines. So for those that are watching and listening, maybe even listening in the reruns that we'll have later on today and tomorrow, what advice would you give to them in order to tap into that ancestral knowledge bank? Because a lot of times I know that I am still in touch with my grandmother, who passed way back in the early 80s and everything, and still in touch with a lot of friends of mine, including Baba Chuck Davis and everything in that space. But what advice would you give to folks to tap into that ancestral knowledge?
Okay. And a lot of people go be like, oh my God, and they're going to start ripping their robes. But I'm going to tell you one thing you need to do in your homes. You need to set up a shrine to your ancestors or altars. I have a shrine and an altar in my home. I know a lot of people were taught that this is demonic, this is evil and all of that. But, you know, this was implemented into ourselves, into us, that it was demonic to keep control by religion. Religion wanted to keep you controlled. They did not want you to tap into your God selves. Set up your ancestors, put your pictures there. In fact, I'm going to give you a little peek at mine, if you don't mind, Mark, so you can get an idea what it looks like. Let me see if I can turn it around. I guess I can't turn it around. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, I have a food offering. I have a liquor here because I know my mom liked liquor. I know that some of the Orishas love their alcohol. I have a cigar here. I have a little figurines and gold offerings on there. And I'm gonna come on around. You see my mother here, Ashe, and I'm gonna take you to my shrine, my ancestral shrine. You see? You put your pictures here. You got Prince here. You got my grandmother and my elder uncle. You know what I'm saying? You have a shrine. That's what you need to put up, and then you start talking. You said you were in touch with your great-grandmother, was?
Grandmother.
Your grandmother.
Yes.
You talk to them like you and I are talking right now. You talk to them. You don't need any special incantations and these and thous, which people make things too doggone complicated. Then they get frustrated and then they drop off of it. Mm-hmm. And then you die. Then you wind up reincarnating, coming to have to learn the same lesson. Let's stop it. Let's stop that now. And here's how you can get on your path. Set up an altar. Set up a shrine. Give them gifts, give them food offerings. And I don't care what race you are. Okay? You could talk to ancestors, known and unknown. Clean your energy with Palo Santo and sages of different types. Incense. You go to a Catholic church, what are they burning? What are they swinging in that big metal thing? Yeah. Incense. Burn frankincense and myrrhs. Clean your house with white salt, pink Himalayan salt. Take those spiritual baths. And I guarantee you souls growth. I mean, I've came from some rough backgrounds, Mark, where I should have been dead. I carry scars that I refuse to get rid of because of me not being in alignment. And I'm not coming like come through Tina Marie. I'm not coming back here. I ain't coming back no more. Not learning these lessons because I'm going to get it right now in the age of Aquarius. You, me, and everybody can do it. This is not just for me. It's for you too.
I'm going to let because Zach and you were having such a deep conversation. But as he knows, one of the places I work at, and that's why we're so noisy over here, is the Hayti Heritage Center. We're having our youth camp, which we do every Saturday and everything. But on this building, which was a converted church, is a veve. So I know that you know what a veve is. So it is a voodoo symbol of Ursula, which is the Iowa of love, and it definitely is something that we oftentimes talk about in our historical talk. So anybody that comes out of the center sees that veve, which has definitely been up there for decades, if not centuries, and everything, because the church was built by energy in the 1891. So actually, the building was actually a grove. So they were doing it outside before it was a physical church, and then the church moved down the street and everything. But it was built as a church back in 1891, so it's over 100 years old and all in that space. But we definitely acknowledge that veve that is up there, and some of those people, including Baba Chuck Davis, who is very much into the African dance. We got some drummers up there right now are very much aware of the importance of that veve.
Is this a feminine energy?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so let me just tap on that because we're coming out of that Piscean age was masculine. Mm-hmm. We're coming out of this, and they're sick of the matricide. The Divine Mother has been demonized. And matter of fact, they took her all out and they said, now the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Well, how do you have a child without a mother? Please, I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to hear that. It's time to allow the feminine energy for her to take her place beside her masculine. You see, it's like this. It's not like here and follow me. It's like this. And in between them is the birth, the child. Right. And I'm not just talking about man, woman, child physically. I'm talking about the energy of it, which gives birth to everything. Everything. I love that. I love that. And we've got to get back to tribal living in any way possible. It's for the children. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for these babies. Yep. Because they're going to be the ones that's going to take care of our old asses.
Pretty much.
Think about what you're teaching them.
Yeah. that's we're going to have to do a whole nother show just on that. But thank you, Mark. I'm glad that you got a chance to jump in the pool. I saw you back there. You've been working hard. I'm loving all of these comments. I get to watch and read them. That's why you see me looking off to the side while you're commenting. I'm actually reading the things.
I'm trying to look and see them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really cool because we're all one. Right now, all our energy is just working for one common goal: peace, love, and harmony. No matter what we go through in our personal lives, no matter what, issues we had in the past, no matter what mistakes we made, no matter this, that, and the third, we put that in the Creator's hands, and then we just keep it moving. To quote Honeybee,
They say in the religion, if you've ever been in the church, and you have, Zach, they say that you give it to God and he casts it into the sea of forgetfulness. Well, if we are gods and goddesses, all you have to do is forgive yourself, be in a repentance and a remorseful, not regretful, two different things, be in a remorseful energy, and then heal. Seek out a healer, somebody with that gift. They will what? Give you the seed, and then you take it and run with it.
Yep, that's right.
Plain and simple. It's so simple.
It's amazing that here we are going into 2024, and I just saw the other day, which I didn't even know happened. It was like Dubai. Did you see what happened over there in Dubai? Mark, you would be up on that. Did you see that?
I mean, I know that it was the whole thing going on with Iran.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, it was almost like you could hear a dark, evil voice in the midst of all of that. I was listening really carefully. That when was the way it was, I was like, yo, that's Armageddon right there. I felt so bad.
Right?
I felt so bad. Like, as an empath like you, I could feel that. Like, that's some like Moses part of the Red Sea stuff right there.
Yeah, you're talking about the floods that were taking place there and everything, and right in the backyards is also the things that were going on with the bombings and everything. But yeah, the world is doing all kinds of crazy things. Cause now that you mentioned that, I do remember seeing that because I am a pet lover, and I did see that there was even pictures of the cats, because certain cultures respect cats more than others. But I did see that was being rescued in that particular devastating flood and everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you something about those natural disasters. Some of them are created, or they're doing those things in the atmosphere that I'm not going to name, but everybody knows what it is. And the earth is reacting. We talked about this earlier. Mother is trying to shake her parasites off of her, and the way she reacts, because she's not flesh and blood, is with devastation. It's a Oya energy. If anybody knows anything about Orishas, but that's the energy. Mm-hmm. She's got to destroy these things. There are entities in the water, and there are entities in the air, and it's going to, whatever they were doing in Dubai, judgment is there.
Yeah,
and
right.
The United States,
Yeah.
It's woo. It's all. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't have to guess about something when you see it with your own eye chakras.
Yeah.
And then they tried to deny it because I know part of what you're alluding to is wasn't just there. I think it was some other stuff in some other parts of the world, like in Asia and other places where they are wondering the impact of that whole cloud seeding because they're trying to control the weather and everything. And that could be why there are some people that are saying that that is at the forefront of why that whole disaster was taking place in Dubai, because that cloud seeding has been going on for a long time. I remember hearing about that because there was a time, I think I told Zach this, that even though I've been in event planning and journalism and media for a number of years, there was a time when I was a youngster that I thought I wanted to be a weatherman. So I remember them talking about cloud seeding way back in that time of the 70s and the 80s. So it's been something out there, but it's been more active lately.
It's been going on since the 40s and maybe even before then. But the proof, the research has been out there that they've been doing it since the 40s. So I'm a movie buff. So I started watching old movies, and damn if I didn't see chemtrails. And this film was filmed in, let's say, the early 50s, Yeah, it's been going on for quite a while for them to want to modify and control what the Most High, the universe, gives us creatively. They want to control your water. Water! Can you imagine that? They want to control what you drink, what you breathe. So what do you think that the forces, the unseen forces, are going to do? Because they've got plans for the children, which is us.
Yeah.
What do you think the earth is going to do? You're hurting the earth. If you think that you're big enough to box with the earth, think again. And unfortunately, innocence is lost during this destruction.
Yeah. There are things that's going on that I definitely feel technology has helped us with, but also too, it brought things to young people that I just don't feel that they were mentally mature enough, ready to handle. And it caused a way of thinking that I don't know if it's good or bad. I guess we won't know until like 50 years from now. We can't say we know now because we don't.
We don't. We don't know what's going to happen. We only see what's important is the here and now, what we see each day. And people they want to jump way into the future and make plans for 50 and 60 years and 100 years down the line. They need to knock that stuff off. We don't know what's going to happen with this generation right now. It's looking pretty bleak. There are some intelligent young people, and I want to say that it's all by design, because if they raise up a generation of idiots, anybody ever seen the movie Idiocracy? That's where they're trying to send us, and I'm going to recommend to everybody watch that movie Idiocracy. This, with people sitting somewhere in their underground, what is it called? Shelters. Mansions underground, while they're watching all of this destruction go on. Y'all better think again. Think again.
It ain't illegal yet.
It ain't illegal yet. But they getting pretty doggone close.
Yeah. We're right there. I mean, we're right there, man. And I'm glad to be a part of it, the change, because I know this is why I've been casted into this unkillable body to help fight this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm basically I can't be killed. So I tell people out there, they laugh at me, but I tell them, listen, I cannot. It just can't. I can't be killed. So my journey is to help fight this stuff because I'm just tired of it. I'm tired. I want to see change. I want people to be able to, walk down the street without getting their head smashed or something like that. I don't want to see people in the street getting hit because they're asking for change because they got to feed their families in the woods.
Right.
Now, I don't know what that makes me, and I don't care, but I think, I just want more kindness, more kind.
People have to be the love. You got to be the love that you wish to. You have to be the love that you want.
That's right. That's right.
You know, and if you want things to change, then feed somebody. If you want things to change and you feel like it's a safe thing to do, and you see young people acting a damn fool on the corner, then say something, then walk away, because it's about planting seeds. It's about planting little seeds, and if it's meant, it'll take root. If not, then you have to protect your own peace. You have to protect your bodies, you know, and let things play out. You can't build a crystal castle unless the old crap shack is torn down. And unfortunately, along with that crap shack being torn down, we're going to lose loved ones, friends, lovers, etc.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Prince said the only love there is the love we make. So on that note, God, you guys were on fire today. I mean, my goodness. And I knew this from yesterday because we technically started the show last night about 11 o'clock your time. When we got on the phone, we started it then, you know, and I slept. I was like, oh, I can't wait. I slept like a baby last night, you know. I needed a good night's sleep because I knew I was going to be able to talk to you today. I want to thank everybody for being, you know, in the chat line, and everybody that'll watch later. A lot of you, you know, you guys watching 6 and 9 and everything. I want to thank Mark and Lisa, of course, you know, the Skunk Mob and your whole Funk fam out that way, and everybody that's down with this show. I appreciate you guys. But we want to run that video, Mark. Can we cue up that video? The one that I like.
The one that you like was got the car in it?
Yes. But trust me, I'm not looking at the car, okay?
I know you got. You ready for it to go now?
Yeah. Let's knock that out.
Let's hear it.
We need a little bit of this. Today's conversation has been like, whoo, one for the ages.
Right on.
Let's hit it.
I wish we can all come together on one accord. Chicanos and black folks spread it across the board. No begging, maintaining respect for one another. Cause when it all boils down, we all the same color. Brothers with different mothers, fathers protecting kids. East, west, north, and south side beings. Get a power to the people, equally spread it out. The universal breakdown is what life is all about. No rags, toe tags, erase the yellow tape. We can do it right now with no time to waste. No court cases, face it, we get it done. No matter where you at, no matter where you from. Grown men, go 10, fall in perfect. Get it right with the most high, believe me, it's worth it. Lisa Love, Betty Paper with Baldy the old man. Skunk my baby, better get it while you can. Get it.
Always one of my favorites.
Shout out to my brothers. Yeah,
Bobby
shout
Lack
out to
Man.
my brothers Baldy Lock and shout out to Eddie Paperboy.
Like that up, a lot of nice comments. I'm happy to be able to have stuff like that stored away so we can throw it out there and let people know, hey, this is what's going on, and I ain't gonna bring too much attention to this, but we talked a lot last night also about that huge concert, that event that's happening at SoCal, the thing about love, that huge thing. And we need to make more of that stuff happen, and we'll talk about that another time on another show. But today's been an amazing show. You're incredible. I love you. I feel your love. You filled up our area of the journey today with nothing but good. And I'm gonna give you the last word, then we're gonna get out of here. So, Mr. Mark Lee, I'm taking you out. I'm jumping out, and
So, okay, closing words, y'all. Be the love that you wish to attract, and do good and be good. You can't have anything good unless you have, and you're exuding the love that you should. Put down all agendas and be selfless. Be selfless. Don't always look for reward and recognition, because your reward and recognition comes from the universe. It comes from the divine, God, Jesus, whatever it is that you resonate with. Be one, and don't be afraid to hit me up. You can email me at alphaunkomega11@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Facebook Messenger, and we can chat. If you're into divination, I do tarot card readings. Stop the madness, and think about the future. Think about your own divinity. Remember that you are all gods and goddesses, and remember that you are nobody else's god or goddess. For all of you light workers out there, this is a war cry. Ooh, that's the title of a song. It's a war cry. Remember that you're not fighting against flesh and blood, but you're fighting against spirits and wickedness in high and low places. Make sure that you're not sitting at the table with people in demonic energy that want to kill, steal, and destroy. And once again, thank you. And I'm sending all of my love from Love's Temple here in Southern California. I am Lisa Love, 1111. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters. Shout out to my son. Shout out and thank you, Mark. Thank you, Zach. And let's keep this funk alive. You know what I'm saying? Be funky in all your ways. And don't be afraid to be weird. Embrace your weird. George, shout out. To my sisters out there that's been in the comments, I love you. I love you. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was amazing. You guys heard it right here, Funk from the Front Seat. Again, we're going to do this as much as we can because this is what we do now. So y'all just going to have to get used to it because we're going to be bombarding everybody. So we just want to thank everybody. And we're going to get out of here on this one so we can kind of Lisa love it out and live for love a little bit. And we want everybody to ease back. Just let the vibes flow through. Because funk not only move, it can remove. Shout out to Prince. He came through a lot today.
You sound not good.
West Coast. Cheryl, I know you in San Fran right now, right?
Love you, Cheryl.
Gotta live for love, y'all. All around the world, y'all. Let's live for love. We gotta live for love, y'all. Take all of this today and run with it. Spread it.
They have nothing without love.
Spread it. Spread it. New York, I know you in the house. Ohio. Lucy and Patty. Brenda. North Carolina. Texas. Funky Philly Dilly. Detroit. Seattle. What's up, Cindy? Samoans doing the Humpty Hump. See, this is how we rock the show. This is how we do it. We give y'all something, y'all give us something. Perfect match. The yin and the yang.
Yeah.
And Prince said, yo, gotta be this. And no, I don't own the rights to this music. Just music. And I'm not making any money from it. We'll see y'all next time. It's been an amazing journey, amazing ride. Thanks for sitting in the front seat with us. Thanks for driving us down some serious avenues, byways, highways, channels, portals. We appreciate you. We love you. And we'll see you next time.
Peace.